must constantly look at things in a different way.
The Healthcare Education Transformation Podcast was created by two physical therapists out of the desire to learn more about the different educational roles in physical therapy and healthcare, and how healthcare education works by talking with educational leaders and people with different perspectives within physical therapy and across interdisciplinary lines on how education can be improved to disrupt the status quo of healthcare education. This is our journey, and thanks for listening. Are you a third-year physical therapy student that excels on tests when you have study guides, checklists, and deadlines? With all of the information available about how to prepare for the NPTE, it's easy to get disorganized and not feel prepared going into the big day. NPTE Prep Success is an online course that provides PT students easy-to-use study guides and step-by-step guidance through the NPTE preparation. To learn more, visit kylericeprep.com. Thank you again all for your continued support, and now for the show.
Hello everybody, Dr. F. Scott Field here. Welcome to Healthcare Education Transformation Podcast, new segment, Teach Me Something Tuesday. Today's an easy one. It's actually a learning tactic brought to us by another head of a department. And this tactic is to analyze and apply what it is you learn. Try to fit in what you're learning into some form of pattern recognition or story or scene or something that you've talked about before, seen in the real world, and try to analyze what it is you're talking about and then apply it and make it fit. And this is actually a learning tactic that I wish I had learned way back in the day. I'm talking about even undergrad, because I've never been a very good test taker, and truth be told, I probably have some form of learning disability that I've just never been tested for. If I had to guess, I'm just, took me several times to pass my board exam. I mainly made B's throughout most of my college career and my graduate school career. I just wasn't a top tier student, and I studied hard. I tried hard, or at least I thought I was studying hard. But I think the one thing that I was really lacking was, instead of rote memorization and just reading and rereading the topics and trying to memorize, I wasn't applying the knowledge and making it fit, and I wasn't making it fit my specific world and my spectrum. I think had I taken a lot of the topics that we learned about in PT school and actually applied them to real world settings, or made a connection to patients I had seen on clinical rotation or just in the classroom and some of the examples that we were talking about, I think a lot of the topics would have stuck a little bit better and they would have made a little bit more sense. It's just a really great learning tactic if you can take something you're learning about and make it fit into your spectrum, your real life, your real world setting. It also helps if you can do that almost immediately or as quick as possible. And the reason for that is, again, within 15 to 20 minutes, if we're moving on to a new subject, there's a strong chance you're going to forget some of the earlier ones that you learned about. So as soon as possible, take a topic that's given to you and try to apply it to a real world setting, or make it fit in your little realm, and make it fit in your world so that it makes sense to you. It's something that you can apply and you've seen either in a real world setting or in some form of clinical setting, and see if you can't make some sort of connection. I find that this works a lot with name recognition even. When somebody introduces themselves to you, it's a pretty good tactic to try to make that name fit into a story or, a previous experience that you've had, so that you can make relationships between the person that's introducing themselves to you and the name. You can make that pattern recognition. You can kind of keep in mind, oh, this person's named Steve. One of my best friends from college was Steve, and we used to go fishing all the time. Steve and I were fishing buddies for many years, and we still are to this day. This person's name is Steve. Once you've done that in your head, for 2, 3, 4 seconds, you try it again another time a little bit later, and then all of a sudden that connection and that relationship will start to make sense, and you'll be able to recall that name when it comes to you. Same thing goes for a certain diagnosis or a treatment option, or just some of the things that we learn about in PT school. Try to make those real world connections and do them immediately in your head over and over and over again. Hope this teaching and learning tip helped. And we'd love to hear some comments and reviews on the podcast about the new Teach Me Something Tuesday topic. So please leave us ratings, leave us reviews, let us know how we're doing. We'd also love to hear your favorite teaching and learning topics. What are some key tips and tricks that you've learned over the years on how to teach or how to learn? Please get in touch with us on social media. We'd love to hear it. Bye-bye, guys.
Access to healthcare is one of the largest issues facing both providers and patients, as millions of people worldwide lack timely and affordable access to healthcare. Anywhere Healthcare, a telehealth platform, is a simple, low-cost option for providers and patients that eliminates the barriers to access to all kinds of healthcare. To find out more, check out anywhere.healthcare, which is available in our show notes. And if you use the code HET in all caps when you email to sign up, you'll save 25% off the total cost. Thank you for attending class today, and we hope that you learned something and gained value from the content.
If you'd like to schedule office hours with us, feel free to add us on Twitter at HET Podcast, on Instagram, HET Podcast, on Facebook, the Healthcare Education Transformation Podcast, and the homepage, healthcareeducationtransformationpodcast.com.
And for those of you following along in the syllabus, extra credit can be obtained by liking us, sharing us, and leaving a review.
Let's continue our journey up Mount Educational Success as lifelong learners.